Hi, my name is Courtney, and in this video, I will be discussing the 10 dispositions for a learner and educator as a professional, and how each one of these dispositions are equally important. Disposition number 1 is high expectations. I do hold myself accountable. I make sure that I set high expectations for myself. And I do believe it's important as a professional individual, whether we are working in a classroom or working with colleagues, to have high expectations for others, but also have them be realistic. And I believe that it actually creates motivation for others. If we keep having expectations, we will continue to push ourselves. And that's what I do by setting high expectations for myself. Disposition number 2 is having respect for the diversity of others. I come from a community that was extremely diverse, and I know that when we come together with our differences, with our backgrounds, with the different ideas that we all have, we can create amazing things. And diversity is extremely important in this world, and it's important to shine light on the different perspectives of others in order to improve anything in our lives. We all are different, and we are all special in our own ways. Disposition number 3 is fairness. It is so important to treat everybody fairly, to treat everyone the same, to treat everybody equally. You want to make sure that things are fair, especially in the workforce and education. You want to make sure that all of your colleagues, and including yourself in your position, are treated fairly, equally to your colleagues. And so as a professional individual that I am today, I definitely take that into consideration in everything I do. Any type of relationships that I have, I make sure that they're not only appropriate, but that they're, I'm treating everybody fair. This is something that I do definitely see that I am very strong at. The 4th disposition is professional conduct. This is being able to be accountable for your actions, having responsibility, being appropriate, knowing what is and what isn't appropriate. I, as a professional individual, know that I definitely practice this disposition in everything that I do. You have to be professional, especially in the workforce. No matter what position you're in, you will, encounter situations that are difficult, but it is extremely important to remind ourselves that we need to remain professional and just basically be accountable for our own actions. Disposition of reflection. This is a difficult one for me, because I have often told myself, once the day is over, just move on to the next. Don't look back. But this is actually something that I definitely need to improve on as a professional individual, because it is so important to look back at your day, to reflect on the good and on the bad, no matter what it is that happened in your day. You can only improve from reflecting on yourself, and it's important to make sure that others understand that it's important for them to reflect on their day as well. In order to improve, in the classroom, to improve one another, we have to make sure that we are reflecting on both good and bad. Disposition and curiosity. As a professional learner, I love to learn, and I love to ask questions so that I can learn. But I can definitely improve on this disposition as a professional, in the sense that it's difficult for me to come up with ideas to promote others to ask these questions and promote, further learning from them. So as, the educator, I need to, do better at this disposition and coming up with ideas to promote learning for others. Disposition of compassion. I have been working in the medical field for a while, and working with sick, loved ones, with individuals who are sick themselves. You definitely need to have that compassion. You really don't know what every person may be going through, and it's important to remind ourselves of that. And as, a professional individual, I definitely remind myself to remember that we don't always know the entire story. We don't know what someone may be going through. And so it's important to have compassion and also because you want others to have compassion for yourself. So this is a disposition I always practice. Disposition of honesty. This one I hold to heart. I believe it is so important in everyday life to be honest. You don't want to be untrusted, and if you want to be trusted, you need to be honest. And that is what I always tell myself. I want others to trust me, and I want to be able to trust others. And by doing so, the truth is what needs to be said. And so I always practice this in everything that I do, whether it's the workplace or everyday life, with friends, with family. Honesty is the key, and it is important as a professional to keep yourself being honest and to practice honesty in everything that you do. Disposition of advocacy. As an educator, this is promoting positive change. When there's so many changes, it can become overwhelming. And so this is something I know I can work on, because it is important to focus on what positives the change can bring into the workplace, into the world. It's so important for us to come together and bring new ideas, and change is a positive thing. It is just creating new ideas. Even if it became a negative thing, a negative outcome, it's something we can learn from. So no matter what, change is positive, and that is something that I need to remind myself as a educator, and that is one disposition that I know I can work on. Disposition number 10, dedication. I am an extremely dedicated individual. When I put my mind to something, I always make sure that I accomplish it. It is so important to carry out things that you say you're going to do. And as a professional individual, it is so important to remain dedicated. When you say you're going to accomplish something, you do it. And that is something that I definitely keep myself accountable for, and I show that disposition in everything that I do. I work hard and I accomplish everything that I put my mind to. All in all, I believe as the individual I am right now, I hold about 6 of the 10 dispositions pretty strongly, and I believe that about 4 of them I can improve on. For a successful professional educator, they hold all of these dispositions and value them and use them in their everyday lives, their thinking processes, and in their workplace. So that is it. Thank you so much for listening to my video.